good morning, and happy Monday. The Energy Effect Live is here for you every Monday to help you identify your top priority for the week and then help you to get an energy hack to make it happen more effectively, more easily, more quickly so that you can have the impact you want, you can make the progress you want, and you can get those breakthrough results that you're really hoping to get, both personally and professionally. Good morning, and happy Monday. The Energy Effect. Mute this, make sure all my tech is good. I swear every time I log on, it's different. Today I've got a different frame on me. I don't know. We just go with it and we hope that you can see it and watch the playback if you can't see it live. So here we are. I'm Kristen Brown. If it's the first time being here, welcome. I am a keynote speaker, an energy activator and researcher, and an audience energizer that really helps to make events fun, drives impact, sales, and leadership in your teams, and also does a lot of deep research behind the scenes. I was in corporate for 15 years doing market research, corporate espionage, because that sounds cooler than market research, and all kinds of things that help my mind and brain get into flow to help you do the same thing. And I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life, just like we all do, and while we all are going through now. And, you know, as a widowed mom and as someone who's started a business, and owning a business is really challenging, that can really create a lot of mental challenges to navigate all the time. And so when I discovered energy and that energy is emotion and action, that changed everything for me. I got my master's in integral theory, which is the art and science in multiple perspectives, and energy is a huge piece of that. And as I started to dig in, I started to see the direct application to workplaces and to the way that we show up every day, and ended up creating the flow formula. Now, the flow formula, if you've been here before, you know this. If you're new here, which we do have quite a few new people on today, so I want to make sure that you get this, that you see this. The flow formula is 7 energies that work together to help you create flow and engagement, then to get the results and the breakthroughs that you want. You can use this flow formula to 2x, to 10x, to 100x the results that you're getting, because this creates such deep engagement with what you want, such clear focus, that it helps you to get to that goal much, much faster, much, much easier. So vision energy is, what do you want? You have to be really clear on that. It has to drive everything. Strategy energy is, what's your plan? Communication energy is, how are you telling the world about it to help get people on board? Relationship energy is making sure you have the right supporters and people to make the vision happen, and that you have boundaries around those energy vampires, those detractors from your big vision and your goals and your plan. Confidence energy is tapping into your own superpowers, knowing that you've got what it takes. You've got everything you need inside of you to make that vision happen. And then creativity is making sure you have fun in the process, because if you're not having fun, you're not going to want to do it. That's the point of a lot of our goals, right? Is we want our life to be easier, faster. We want more freedom. We want more money. We want more love or connection, whatever it happens to be. So creativity energy is about ensuring that you have fun along the journey to make your vision happen. And also that you have a way to have a release valve for all the pressures and stresses that can build up in our day-to-day lives. Because I'm not a good vibes only person. You're going to have bad vibes days, and you're going to have bad vibes weeks and years even. And it's okay to have those challenging situations and feelings in your life. The goal is not to get stuck there. The goal is to use this flow formula to help you bounce back, to help you move forward, even when you are in those stuck places. And creativity energy is one of the most critical pieces of that. A couple of weeks ago, we focused on that. So go back and look at some of my past live streams, my past podcasts. I'll share links to those at the end. And then finally, we have motivation energy, and that is making sure that you can stick to it, that you can stay on track when distractions come at you. And that's really what we're going to be focusing on all week this week. And with today's show is talking about friction and the things that come up to block your flow, that block your momentum, that block your progress when you have a really clear vision or when you don't, but that come up and just knock you down to where you don't want to be, or slow you down, or make you think differently, or just get you stuck. So we want to make sure that you're aware of how that plays out in your own life. Now, before we dig into that today, I want you, as we do every single week, to think about what would be one thing that if you got it done by Friday, it would feel like a win of a week. If you had that thing checked off your list, if you got it done, if you were able to go to your team and say, hey, this is completed, or to your boss or to your partner, what is that number one priority for the week? And I want you to write it down, because as we say every single week, knowing it is different than actually putting it down on paper. It changes the way that your brain is actually thinking about it. Your reticular or activating system, when it sees something visually, just like on a vision board or when you've got goals written down, it starts to scan your environment for opportunities to make this number one priority a reality all week long. So take it from here, write it down. Take a moment to do that right now. Otherwise, you won't do it. You'll get busy. You'll get off this quick 10-minute live stream and you'll go back to the things that you were working on and you'll forget that you even did this. So write it down somewhere you can see it, right next to your computer, right next to your phone, right next to in your car console. Put it on your fridge. Put it somewhere you're going to see it. Now, with that one thing, what could you do to make it happen more quickly and more easily? There's a bunch of things, right? You could do a to-do list. There's all the things. But what are the things? I want to reverse this a little bit. What are the things that are more than likely going to block you from completing that thing by Friday? For me, email. If you've heard me speak on stage, you know the blessing and the curse that I feel about email, that of course it's a great thing, but it completely can paralyze me. It's because it is a very common friction point. And these are 5 very common friction points that we all face in our day-to-day lives that can hold us back, even if we have the best of intentions, even if we have the very best to-do list, even if we're really clear and excited about what we want. There are things like distractions. That's other emails coming in about something unrelated to the thing that you want to get done. It's having an unexpected call from your kid's school and having to go pick your kid up. It's an unexpected meeting that pops up. It's a challenge with supply chain. There's all kinds of things that are distractions that pop up to prevent us from doing what we want. Social media, our phones. So that's distractions. That's one friction point that can interrupt flow. Another is overwhelm. You have too much to do. You ever had too many things on your to-do list and so you actually don't do anything because you're overwhelmed by it? That's what happens to me with email, is they come in so fast. Most of them aren't. I get a lot of spam. I get a lot of sales pitches. I get a lot of that kind of stuff where I need to go in and unsubscribe or delete or, respond. And it becomes really overwhelming to do that. And then it holds me back from actually getting to the important emails or that important project. So overwhelm is things like that, things that feel like, oh, I have too much to do, so I'm not doing it. Then we have resistance. Resistance is just not wanting to do it. You ever said, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to be really just disciplined with this, and then you're not? There's an inner resistance to it, or you procrastinate, or there's some reason inside that just is holding you back from making it happen. That is resistance. Those are the things that pop up internally that prevent you from moving forward. Then we have emotions. That's emotional stuff that can trigger us and prevent us from moving forward. So if you're going through any sort of traumatic experience in your personal life that's impacting how you're showing up at work, or vice versa, if you're going through money problems, if you're really stuck right now in all the challenges and emotions that are swirling with all the changes happening out there in the bigger world or politically, that can hold us back from taking action too. Those are stuck points. And then finally, we have people. People usually are the underlying driver of a lot of these other things, because it's something related to people that have caused us to be distracted. We want to see what's happening on social media. We get distracted by a kid needing a pickup at school. We get overwhelmed because our boss needs an extra project for us. We get resistance for procrastinating because we don't want to do something that is driven by someone we have to hang out with or see in those specific situations. Emotions are almost always driven by people, whether it's divorce, death, loss of a loved one, money challenges. All of those usually have a people component behind it too. So people are a very significant piece of friction in our lives. So I want you to think about these, and I want you to give yourself a rating on all 5 of them. Where are you at this week where you may get hung up on getting that number one priority of the week done? Low, medium, or high? So do you have low distractions this week, medium distractions, or high distractions? Low overwhelm, medium overwhelm, high overwhelm. Low, medium, high for resistance, for emotions, and for people. Where you think you are going to be at this week. That doesn't mean you know for sure, because we know any of these can pop up at any time. But given the state of your life and your work right now, where are you at with those 5? Then your energy hack for this week. This is a way to minimize friction and create flow. And this is not a, oh my God, huge new idea. It's an idea that you have heard before, but likely have never actually done it. And it has been a game changer for me. I've shared this before, but it is blocking your calendar. Now, many of you are like, oh my God, I could never do that. I need to have my calendar available for meetings and for all the people and all the things. Yeah, you do, but you don't need to have it available 24/7. You deserve to have moments blocked out for yourself so you can think, so you can focus, so you can get clarity, so you can actually work on things. I used to work at a company that was a huge meetings culture. It was meetings back to back to back to back. There was never actually any time to do the work that the meetings were about. And that is not healthy, that is not productive, and that is not going to help you create momentum or actually get things done unless you take proactive behaviors, make it a reality for you to have time blocked out on your calendar. So for me, every single morning, I've shared this before, every single morning, my calendar is blocked before 11 a.m. That doesn't mean I'm not working. That doesn't mean that I'm not doing things. It just means I am not accepting meetings before 11 a.m. Of course, there are exceptions, right? But more than likely, those time periods are blocked off so that I can get the things that I want done. For you, I want you to start small. I want you this week, right now, open up your calendar and say, where is 1 hour that I can block for myself? And it can be personal, or it can be professional, but 1 hour for you to actually work on your top priority of the week, where you can sit down, where you can research, you can make calls, you can do something, you can read, you can learn, you can outreach, you can do whatever it happens to be that one thing is that you want to get done this week. Block 1 hour on your calendar right now to do it. And then get into the habit of actually blocking your calendar, or you decide the length of time that's appropriate for you based on your workplace and your needs, but 30 minutes to 3 hours of blocked time every single day. And you're like, 3 hours every day? I do it every morning. Every morning, I have that time blocked off where I don't have meetings, where I can actually work on things. So do this right now. And if you aren't doing it right now, do it as soon as we hang up, because I want you to really get used to having time for yourself to work on the things that are most important to you. Now, if you want to dig deeper into some of this, you can listen to my podcast that comes out on Wednesdays. I have some masterclasses. I'll share the link in a minute that you can go take. I have a LinkedIn newsletter article that comes out every Tuesday or Wednesday, depends on when this happens. So tomorrow you'll get the LinkedIn newsletter that'll have, gosh, I think tomorrow's has like 12 tips for busting through friction so that you can create more flow. And then, of course, I do keynotes and I do consulting around the 7 energies and how those impact your team and your sales, and how people are rising up in your organization to have the impact you want on your bottom line. So if you want to learn about any of that, you can go to my website, KristenBrownPresents.com, or here is a link. This is a link to all the links. So stan.store/the energy effect takes you to my podcast, to my website, to my booking link where you can schedule a call with me to inquire about dates, to my masterclasses. They're all right here on this link. So go there, stan.store/the energy effect. So thank you for being here. You identified your top priority of the week. I gave you some most common things that cause resistance and friction in our lives to block our flow. And then I gave you the 1 hour calendar block as your energy hack for this week. Remember, there are thousands of energy hacks. You get one every Monday, and then you get a whole bunch in the newsletter, and then you get a whole bunch in the podcast, and then you get even more if you hire me as a keynote speaker. So please reach out. I can't wait to talk to you, to learn more about your team, what some of your resistance and some of the frictions you're facing on your team are. But until next week, we will see you soon.